first of all, my name is Kimani. Most of you know me as Njugush. And I'm so lucky to have met and to have come across Centonomy because of several things. So one, maybe I start just kidogo, I back up and from where I come from. Some of you might have seen me on TV, on the Real Housewives of Kawangware, and also later on Hapakule News. So by then, I was employed. And the money was sweet. It was not a lot, but it was sweet. So thing is, we used to be paid per month. So after every show, per episode rather, so after every episode that used to come every week, so you're paid a particular sum of money. So it's kept until the end of the month. So here I am in 2 shows. I was earning around, depending on the episode I'll be in, between 50 to 60K. Now, that was a lot of money for me because one, I don't have responsibilities. It's just me and my girlfriend. And she was from Githurai, so she was not spending a lot. So I had a side hustle, which is emceeing and online. I had an Instagram account that was just Domantiko too, but people are willing to pay for me to put products there. So what happened is when you're on salary, at times you get very comfortable. So I was very comfortable because end of the month you're expecting something. So that was in 2013 to 2015. I was very comfortable. I'd be called for a gig to MC, but because I had a lot of things to do, I'm waiting for the money end of the month. I used to tell the guys I won't be available because I've been booked, which was a lie. I was very comfortable until in 2016 something happened and I lost the job. And it's a long story. I won't get into it, but point is I lost the job. Now here I am. I'm a point where when I was on telly, I was a hot cake. So in terms of emceeing, I used to get a lot of calls. I used to get a lot of people telling me, Sawa, get our product and advertise it on your page. But here I was very busy. So from employment to now my own biashara, because now it happened by mistake. It happened because of, let me say it's because of lack of otherwise. I didn't have something else to do because I've lost my jobs and here I am. So what do? My plan was to fall on the side hustle, which was looking for MC gigs, pushing my social media pages, which I didn't push before. Before it was like a briefcase. When I needed to post or do something, that's when I used to log in. At times I kept even forgetting my PIN because I forget the PIN. So you have to forget and then it prompts you. I used to be on and off. So to emceeing, when I feel like I'll MC. So that was the kind of relationship I had with my side hustle. But now here I am. I've left the shows and now here I am. Nimetoka nje ni kugumu. Everyone expects as an artist. Huku nje muna expect as an artist. Lazima ukue fiti. So what do? So I had to go back now to my side hustle, which was online. I started pushing, but then I had 14,000 followers. Luckily, someone came by. And by this time, we are operating in a funny way because tumeoana. I have a wife. My girlfriend then is now my wife. And she used to be the manager. So the first gig we got, she quoted, we had arrears for rent for like 50K. I've been out of job and my side hustle, it's not really paying off the way we expected. So we went and she's asked, how many video can you do? So she said, every video we are charging 5,000. Oh, the client said, okay. So the client asked, how many are you going to do? So Celestine, my manager then, and I had to tell the guy, let me cut the phone. My manager is going to call you. And then she's right there next to me. So she called and she was a very good manager because she looked at our problem, 50,000. And this guy, I'm going to ask him 50. So we ended up doing 10 videos. Of course, the guy never paid. He only paid 1 video, which was amazing because it taught us one thing. If at 14,000 followers on Instagram, someone is willing to put, let's say they're willing to put 5,000 on a video that you basically didn't do anything big, major. It's only my phone and that's it. and I do the script, and my wife is the manager next to me. So it gave us an idea of, we wish we pushed this thing when we were able, because when I was on telly, I'd be able to push my online. It's like right now, someone who is on TV, on radio, they push their own handles. Tag me at Bless Njugush, I'll be able to see your comments. So that way you are able to, you are still in employment, but you are able to push your side hustle. So that's what I never did. It was a mistake on my part. I didn't know. So here I am, come and buy. So we push the IG to get to 100, gets to 200. By then, when we were doing IG videos, they used to have only 15 seconds. So we had to do a very funny video in 15 seconds. So all these, remember, I don't have money, I didn't save. Hatuja save, tumekula pesa na mrembo. So here I am, I need to shoot. Serious clients came. I remember when Safaricom came, we never had a serious client. So when Safaricom came, we had a project that we were supposed to shoot, I think 11 videos. I used to do a lot of videos. So I did something that I didn't even let my wife know. So I sold my TV. I didn't have money. I didn't save when I was working. Otherwise, if this was what we were doing, earning 60K, if this side hustle, we were doing it at the same time, when I was employed, I think tungekuwa faa sana. Because now what happens is when you're given a job, you know, the LPO, the money will come to you after 30 days. So every money that you needed to have, I don't know if I'm making sense. Every money that you needed to have for shooting, I didn't have. So what do? I got a TV. Na nilikuwa nimenunua TV 32-inch. Well, of course I didn't have a bed, but I had a 32-inch. I sold the TV on an online platform, I think oil something. I sold the TV. I had bought the TV at 32K. I sold it at 8,000. Huyu jamaa kwanza alikuja akaniambia hata haiwezi toka kitu, but nakusaidia tu. So I got the TV for 8K, but I used the money to buy a modem, because then Wi-Fi haikuwa sana, so we were using modem and whatnot. So that's the background. Of course, later on, fast forward, things made sense, and we learned through our mistakes. After selling things, after selling whatever we were able to sell, and I used to tell Celestine, I want to upgrade. Kumbe ni uongo, just looking for money to be able to take care of biashara. Now, money started coming in, and I remember being asked for. It got serious. Because, you know, at times our side hustles, I think this is just me, I don't know if it's only me, but I think our side hustles most of the times are our, how do I put it? Yani, they're not serious. It's a thing you're doing on the side, yeah? So that's why at times it's even easier to feature. So when it starts making sense, ilitupata off guard. Personally, I didn't have any knowledge in biashara. The last I did business studies was in high school, of which tulikuwa nafanya tupita. So here I am. I don't know how to keep books. Mimi ni kuitisha do kulingana na shida yangu. Tunataka pale 60. Tunamweza mulika wapi. So that was how we used to treat biashara then. But things got serious. They kept asking for red cards. I've never seen a red card in my life. You Google red card, you try and put down something. Things happened so fast. We started having VAT. I didn't know VAT. The last time I did VAT is in high school, the backward taxation. Now, fast forward to when I knew Centonomy. But before I know Centonomy, there's something that happened. So we used to get money. Tunakula yote. So we make, let's say, for example, 100K. And kumbe in that 100K, there is tax that we're supposed to remit to the government. Do I know how it works? We eat everything. So you are submitting, client anakuambia, kwa hii pesa ulikuwa umetulipisha, you need to add something to take care of the tax. Oh, they're having us money. So we used to eat a lot of money. And then, and it happened over a long period of time. Now, forget that. Now, when I came to realize where my mistakes were. So when I joined Centonomy, it was apparent that I've been doing the wrong things. And if there was one thing that kept, even today, is that profit is not my money. Mimi, I used to know, as long as I've paid my guys, I have this, I have that, this is taken care of. Now profit ni kuponda. Mrembo anataka kwenda wapi? Dubai. So, and there was need to be able to do things the way they are, the way they are supposed to be done. So there was that one thing about profit. Then the second thing was about I'm forgetting. So there is yes, the second thing is exit plan. So it's a hide hustle. It's grown to a big business. We had editors, we had and we still have them, videographers, we had a manager, a lot of people who help us to do what we do. So we didn't have an exit plan, which I've come to learn it's very serious. And by the way, I think in my 5th month of working towards that, because I've realized I'm not going to be here for long. So my exit plan is whatever money I'm able to make, because my idea is when I retire, I want to be able to make the same amount of money I make now, the same amount of salary I'm paid now. That's another point I'm going to come to. So I've been working towards that. Kuna mahali naenda nanyonga pesa, money markets, naweka hapo. The only way I can get that money ni nikifunga hiyo account. So I've been working towards that. So I didn't have an exit plan. We didn't have an exit plan as a company. 3, to be able to work as a proper company. Now having someone to keep the books, because personally me, I didn't see the need of a accountant. Si kunihesabu pesa, tumetuma hizi, zimetoka, zimekuja hizi. But now after I went through Centonomy, there's one nini nilifanya ikakuwa ngumu. Ile ya pesa, tulifanya nini ya pesa. I think there were two classes and of accounts, and I figured we need an accountant. So because money, kwani in my eyes, pesa inakuja, money in, money out. I've seen this, I've bought it, and in my eyes, I'm very responsible, by the way. You know, because I can't say I waste money, but at the same time, I don't take care of money the way it should be taken care of. So there was the issue now of structuring. We have accounts, and again, because when you think of account, you think of setting up a whole office, uko niko accounts. But then I figured, and after the classes, I figured you could get someone on a consultancy basis. So that's what we do. So the guy we are able to, and what we did with my friends is that we use the same guy. So instead of paying premium amount, kila mtu analipa kidogo, like 3/4 of what we would have paid, and it makes sense at the end of the day. Because structure, I think for us, hiyo ilikuwa inatuangusha sana. We didn't have structures. The other thing is when we are structuring, because we found out that people are doing different same things. So if you have 2 people, because we are very kind, na hiyo ni kitu nilisoma hapa, because I've always said mimi sitaki kufanya biashara kama watu wengine. Ita huyo ana job, muite. So at the end of the month, then especially when COVID hit, we realized that we have guys on retainer. That's something else. We had guys on retainer, the guys we were paying money. So when COVID hit, that means no job. But then umeandika mtu mwisho wa mwezi is expecting something. They are on salary. So what do? In a pile as debt. So from that, we learned it might be easier to contract people on a need to have basis. Now, the only worry for us was there's sometimes I need to shoot videos that don't necessarily make money, but you still need workforce. So how to work around that is again structuring. With the help of now our accounts, we are able to structure how that will be able to work. Another point that I will have started with, I've learned, is to pay myself, because nilikuwa najilipa na profit. So after I sort everyone, so whatever remains is mine. So most of the time, because we had a lot of people to pay and a lot of things to take care of, and I'll take you back to the tax. Inatubite mpaka saa hii. Because now what happened is the whole of those like 2 years, we were tulikuwa na backlog sana. So we had a lot of money that we owed the government that we had to, so accounts akakuja akatengeneza. So what we do ni tunalipa. So tukaongea na Kere tukaambia tunalipa, basi tufanye kitu alifanyia Kere. So we had a backlog from our mistakes, but now tunaweza sema from when we started, I think early this year, vitu ni safi, right? So coming now to salary. So for us, we didn't used to pay ourselves. So what we used to do is whatever money, little money in a backing, we used to pay ourselves. Sometimes in a backing mingi, we were like, can we get a sofa? Hey, we have worked very hard. Kumbe hii kitu haiwaki hivyo. So nowadays unajipata kampuni iko na pesa na wewe hauna, because now we are on salary. So you are paid a certain amount. My co-director, who is my wife, is paid another amount of money. Whatever is left now, near whatever, or rather tunalipwa kama wengine. So first things first, kuna do inafaa kunyongwa mahali for exit plan, kuna ingine just for saving for the company. Yani I've learned it's crazy how money works, because some things we never really, lakini wanasema kama hujui na sasa siwezi chapiwa makosa sijui, but now that I know, I think it's a kind of I wish I knew moment, because when we started with these structures, we could have, like, that money that we owed KRA ni pesa ingetusumbua akili. In terms of structures, we could have built, even getting equipments, it's something we could have done those years, you get. But mostly we think that si tunaendelea sawa, I get this money, and then there's something about money. I don't know how money, it's the way money works. I think it's quite interesting, because I'd see we are making a lot of money is coming in, but when the accountant sits down, and then I realize actually we need more money. So, but in the face of it, when you look at the face value of it, it's a lot of money is coming in, but now that I know, I think now it's working now forward and knowing what can I be able to do. That's another challenge I got from Centonomy. For it to be a biashara, it doesn't need you to be there all the time. So unfortunately, what I do needs me to be here all the time. That means I still I'm not an entrepreneur, so to speak. Yeah, but that's something now we are working towards, be it in the money markets, be it in something else we want to do. Like, for example, and this is something we are actually on track. We have the equipment, we have the editing softwares, we have everything. So why not have production where I'm not even involved? Let's say, for example, a certain company is launching something, they need something live on socials. I don't need to be. So I think for us, in terms of selling ourselves, is something we underestimate, because we've always in business of selling other people. You're in this ad, you're in that, but we forget that we also need to sell ourselves. So for me, and I think that was an advantage. We had when I left now, we decided now to answer biashara in our bed. So Celestine, my wife, the manager, now goes like, how do we go? How do we go from there? So I'm like, we wait for biashara, we wait for vipindi ziniite, mimi ni jina kubwa. But then we waited for 1 week, and we had just been married, and there's a fridge my dad gave us, and it had nothing. Ilikuwa tu na maji na glass. So we used to take water na ice cube. So I think that's where the brilliant ideas came from. So she said, because there's some things you've been writing, because for the time I was off job, I was writing. Can we be able to do that? Tuziweke tu kwa mtandao for free. So I asked her, but how do we gain? And she told me, until people see you out there, that's the point, tutaanza kuget calls. So I asked, how do we get calls? Ukiweka video, situweke na namba yetu hapo. I was like, no, mrembo tunaenda mbali. So that's how we started. So I used to put out a video, na naweka kanamba pale, so that anyone who wanted will be able to do that. Then I realized the email also works. So in terms of advertising, what we do and how we look, we used to look for clients then. It's just putting content out there for us online, because we realize for online you don't have at times to pay anything. Hata ukiwa na watu kidogo, because we used to have very kidogo followers, but you see those few used to watch, and when one watches and they're happy, they used to share. Actually, a lot of our followers, I rarely boost content unless it's paid for by the client, because unless someone likes it, so that's how personally because now ours is content. People share organically, so it's a slow growth for us, but it helps, and also it helps in engagement when because you see people, you'd see someone with 1 million followers, they put up a post and it gets 22 likes, then you wonder where are the rest, what do one wako. So it's because for the engagement, because people love you for you, love your product because it's you. So that's how we started, until we also realized there is power in cross posting and sharing. Like, for example, a friend would post me, some people would be able to see. So in terms of putting ourselves out there, our major, I can say our main, and it's still our main. That's why I said we have to shoot some videos that are not paid for, because that is part of our marketing. So as long as people keep seeing you, and then something about online is that shelf life is very little. 1, 2, 3 weeks, and then that is tupo site in Aisha. We have something else in Aisha. If the demand comes, and Aisha. But online, it's very short-lived. Enough is enough in Aisha. So we need to keep at it. So how we do it? That's how we started. Then we came to realize also there is power in being, like, for example, having a set kind of rules. Like, for example, kuna video sifanyagi. There's a product that I'll never touch, because the people we had, we realized we need to keep them in terms of followers. We realized there's a particular target audience. That's the word, the phrase I was looking for, the target audience. So I think focusing on what the target audience wants and resonates, and pain points, knowing what are the pain points of the people out there. Because the only way we'll get clients to come and advertise, let's say, for example, with us, if we have access to a certain particular audience that the client is looking for. So how to market ourselves is, if this client sees us on this target audience's preference, they have their surveys, they'll be like, who do you think can influence you? Who do you think, who did you see talking about ABCD? And some people will say Njugush. So we realized another tool for marketing was for us to be able to appease to the audience, because that's what the client is looking for. The client is not looking for us. Otherwise, if they were asked, maybe they could have done away with me and go straight to the audience. But if the client is looking at someone who is going to resonate with the audience, then we really need to know their pain points. So I think those have been our two major, but the main is just being relevant and being out there. If you're lucky to be employed, I think you find you can be able, we see like it's too much to be able to push that side hustle. But if I knew ikitu ningefanya kitambo, because you find when now the rubber meets the road, and especially for those guys who during COVID, they were forced to quit their jobs and start something else, you hit the rubber running more than you are hitting it in employment. You find that you have 24 hours. It's not the 1 mpaka 5. You find that you're doing a lot. So that means if you're in employment, it's, for me, the way I take it is like you have an upper hand than someone who is not employed. You can get a little extra chums here. You can take advantage of the Wi-Fi. I'm not saying what to me Wi-Fi is or PC, but you can be able to take advantage of such platforms to be able to push your own side hustle. But what I'd say is, when all is said and done, I think the idea is to keep pushing. Mostly it looks very dark. For me, when we started, even my own fellow comedians, kwanza walikuwa wananiona, those comedy for Akina Mashangi. I know you said one word, but these are several words. There are some comedians, indigenous comedians, who used to apply chalk on themselves. That's what my fellow comedians used to see me as, because I've come from the real houses of Kawangware, who even does house shows. So when I told them I'm doing shows, I'm doing clips on Facebook, can they come, we collaborate? Because I ndio kusema, they used to say, nachoma soko. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Right now, everyone is asking me, Njugush, now, how do I go about it? Hii video iko poa. So idea is, keep pushing. You unakaanga fala. Actually, at that stage, unakaanga fala sana. Mpaka mama yangu, even my own mother, alikuwa akiomba ananiombea, Mungu saidia Kimani apate kazi. Because what I was doing is nonsense. How do you come from TV, then unaanza kukua kwa simu? So I think ideally is keep pushing, mbele iko sawa.